last night. We got back about 11:30 or 12. We left Vegas. I'm sure my neighbors were real happy when I fired this thing up at almost midnight. It's pretty damn noisy. I'm gonna get all these panels off and get the oil out. And I'm sure you're tired of watching me pull my motor as much as I'm tired of pulling my motor, so. Oh, you're kidding.
No. Look.
Oh, man. Well, that's not good. A heavy snowstorm knocked one of my trees down. That's gonna be more work. Oh boy. It's a little bit frigid out here. I don't know about this planet.
Oh, I know. I'm pissed.
Oh man.
This was from a neighbor friend that moved, and now it's dead.
Your fuchsia. Oh, your cactus. We didn't know it was gonna snow before we left. Well, I guess we kind of thought we were gonna get a dusting, but man, I love my trees. I hate when they break. Oh well. The good news is I'm getting breakfast.
After I make myself a hydration drink.
Oh, and coffee.
Oh yeah, that sounds good too. Shannon likes sausage for breakfast, but we keep it frozen. So I can't cut it. I'm gonna go ask him to take care of that. Do you want some sausage for breakfast?
Yeah, most people, I don't know what they do. But the old meat saw works pretty good.
We just like to keep it frozen so it stays, I guess, a little more fresh longer.
We're almost over to Klein's this morning. I don't know if you guys remember, but after SEMA, I pulled my engine back out and took it down there, and he just happened to be going to go on vacation with his family and stuff over Thanksgiving, and well, he got back and he got the crank and everything balanced, and I think he's got the crank, the rotating assembly together. But today we are going to finish putting it together, and I'm going to try and get back up the hill and get that thing in there so I can get on with testing for the hammers. So today might be a long one, I'm not sure, but let's go see what happens. All I got to say is I'm glad I'm not going that way. Look at that traffic. I don't miss the valley at all. Come down here when I have to. Try to stay up in the mountains where it's nice. I gotta say, I'm pretty excited. I can't wait to get this motor in there and get some testing done. I feel like this year's gonna be my year. I'm gonna put the time in, and I got me a good co-driver, I believe, and I can't wait to see where we end up. We're here at Klein right now. Let's go see what Robert's got cooking in there and get to work. All right, Robert's back from vacation and got this thing all back together, so I'm not sitting around in his way all day, but you can kind of see the knife-edged crank and stuff, and it's all polished.
Try to get as much drag as we can out of it, and the oil wrap to try to cut through the oil instead of it grabbing a hold of the crank and sitting on the crank and stacking.
And you can see this is the old one. See how the blunt edges, I mean, it's just big square, and it just gathers that oil up and don't let it get away from it. And then one of the other things that we did is Robert change this oil pickup. We moved it before it was up here, which would be the front of the car. So on acceleration on short course, we started seeing starvation and stuff. And we've moved this back to the middle, and we changed the oil pan. So we had a new oil pan built where all the oil will stay trapped around the middle of it. And then there's a windage tray that goes in here when it's all buttoned up.
But we have all the trap doors in it from side loads, so that way oil doesn't get trapped, it funnels itself back to the center.
Very nice. I think we're onto it. It's gonna be a good year, I can smell it.
And then we did cutaway lifters in it now, so that way the angles of the lift of the camshaft doesn't bind up and doesn't get close. So they're cutaway lifters, so the push rods have plenty of room to move around.
Very nice. Well, get this thing buttoned up, and I'm gonna go do a little side job while he's finishing this up. So I'm trying to make a alternator shield. This is down low and gets roosted by sand and takes out the alternator, so I'm gonna make a little shield for it. This is an LS motor. And this is my somewhat pattern. And here's what my pattern looks like before I break it. Hopefully it fits nice. You can kind of see what it looks like. A little bit of clearance, and then I'm gonna take a 3-inch piece of 90 thou aluminum and wrap it around there, and then I'll do a hole for the power stud and one for the plug. Weld it up. I'll use this piece of tubing to wrap my 90 thou piece around, and it will shape up very nice. Yep, just clamp that to the table and wrap it. It moves pretty easy because it's only 90 thou. And I just marked everything. Cut me a hole and a slot. That should kind of keep the vented part from taking on too much roost from the tires. And here's what our finished product looks like. Nice little shield, plug, and the power cable hole. What do you think? Now I can get a hold of Robert and see what he's got going on with the motor. Well, good morning. I made it back from the valley. I know we didn't get a whole lot of footage of the motor and stuff, but he had the bottom end in there and ready to go, which is good for me because I was in a hurry to get out of there. We're trying to make that off-road expo in Scottsdale this weekend, so I'm gonna try and get this thing running today and get everything loaded up tomorrow and head up there Friday. Let's get after it. She's all back together and pretty. I'm feeling pretty confident this time. Can't wait. Don't you hate it in the mornings when you get up and got your coffee and you're getting ready to go to work and you ain't got nowhere to really set your coffee anywhere? I'm gonna have to make me a little shelf that just kind of pops on and off of here when it's in the way or not in the way. I'll throw it away. You know what I mean. Well, we're gonna get started by getting a little Loctite on all these bolts. Get them in there. I'm sure you guys have seen me do this way too many times. I'm turning pro though. Practice makes perfect. Not the kind of practice I'm looking for, but you know. Can't wait to drive this thing again. Last year we were having a hell of a time just pre-running. Everything was going good. The race started, and you know how it is at the start of the race, it gets pretty freaking crazy. But I don't know. I'm excited to get to the hammers again and get this race going. I get done. It's usually really close with that gun though. Find them motor mounts. You get old, you gotta have all this padding, you know? I don't feel old, but my body says I am. I used to be able to get on the ground all day long and move around, but these days it's just like, dang, my knees hurt. Every time I squat down, they pop and make all kinds of noise. Luckily, Jess works me out pretty good in the mornings and gets me stretched out and ready for the day. Ready to stab. All right, just kidding. We're gonna torque these real quick and then we'll get this thing stabbed. Little better doing it by hand. I've stripped way too many bolts or stuff, you know, trying to use an impact. It's taking stuff apart's one thing, but putting it together, I just like doing everything by hand. It takes a little bit longer, but it's worth it in the long run when you got all your threads left in your block. Voila. Probably one of the most important things is the pull up on the converter. You see how that pulls back like that? It's about 3/16 of an inch, and that's perfect. That's what you want. If you don't have clearance, a lot of times it'll push that nipple on the converter into the crank and push that crank forward and eat the thrusts out of it. I like to get all my bolts started and then I'll rotate it and tighten them one at a time. lost my socket. Not sure where. Oh, there it was up there. It fell off. And my battery died. Take the one off this flashlight. Imagine that. Don't you hate it when you're underneath something and the battery dies on you? Couldn't even imagine on an electric car. I would shoot myself. Next will be these motor mounts. And I'll just get everything started and leave it loose. That way all the rest of the motor mounts start very nice. And I got my little hoist control down here so I can raise and lower it just a little bit. Yep. Nice. Love when things go together easy. Oh yeah. Then we have the water pump next. Yep, start everything, make sure it's in there. These block plates to shift around a little bit if you have anything tight, and that hard anodize, if it's off just a little bit, it makes it hard to get the bolts in. They just kind of bind up and everything, so get everything neutralized and put on there. Tighten it by hand. Very nice. Then the crank trigger. And the last time we changed the oil pan right before SEMA, and I put this crank trigger on and I went to fire it and the damn thing wouldn't start. Man, I was losing my mind thinking, well, he's got it out of time or whatever. Well, ended up being this crank trigger, the way that it bolts on and stuff, it was hitting the oil pan. The oil pan needed to be trimmed a little bit on the corner, and it shifted this trigger up where it was out of range and wouldn't fire. So I wasted about an hour of my time just screwing with it, trying to figure out what's going on. And all it was I didn't notice the oil pan was rubbing the crank trigger right there, so I had to kind of grind it and notch it. But it goes together very nice. I like to use a little NICs on all my AN fittings just Makes them go together nice and spin by hand usually. It helps out. And then I wipe it on my pants, and Jess gets mad when she puts my work clothes in the laundry and gets stuff on her goodies, you know. I told her, yes, I don't want to get anti-seize on her panties and her socks. Don't wash them with my work clothes. And I got this. It's amazing when you do something so many times, how easy it gets. It's pretty crazy. Now we're going to put this up in here. The way this goes together, it's pretty sweet. It makes sure everything is aligned and perfect. Sometimes it's hard to get together. There it goes. And then them hold my idler bearings. Pretty sweet little setup. Then next, I got these little aluminum spacers, and these go on here, and then my belt cover goes against them, and then they also hold these bearings on. So it works out pretty sweet. Then the steering and the alternator. Almost forgot about this hose. Have you guys ever seen these snap-on crescents? They're like small, but they have this big wide mouth to get on. I love them for stuff like this. They work perfect. Same small wrench even fits this big one. This is a 20. Yeah, look into them. They're worth the money. Working on one of these, it's pretty important. You see these slots right here, it just makes it quicker for changing the steering pump out in the field. And I've changed a couple of pumps during the race, just over my lifetime, you know, and it's pretty important to be able to work on them easily out there. So just dumb stuff like that, you know what I mean? Then there's no nuts on the back side. They just thread right in. Works pretty freaking sweet. And during the race, I don't mess around with that hand tightening stuff. I carry 3 impacts with me, a quarter drive, a 3/8 drive, and a half drive. And everything's a zip gun during the race. Heck, you know, that's the important thing about making them easy to work on. I've changed transmissions and still won races. It's, you just gotta keep moving. The Hammers is one of them races that, you know, everybody's having trouble and everybody's trying to drive the wheels off of it, so the more prepared you are to work on your junk, the better off you're gonna be to win. And I don't know about you guys, but I usually only show up to win. That way I got an excuse to party, if you know what I mean. I like to party. Even if there's not a race. That's what life's about. Having a good time, and if you ain't having a good time, you ain't having fun. That's another reason. This is my alternator bolt. It's got a nut made onto the back side, and I made a handle on it. That way I only need an impact or one wrench to tighten it up or change a belt. And then I made a nicer belt cover than I've ever had on this car, so that I don't have to change belts when they get debris in them and everything. Makes it pretty sweet, if you know what I mean, just having all the right equipment. Yeah, check this out. This is the smallest crescent. You can see how big it is in my hand. And it fits a number 12. Freaking amazing. And man, do I hate messes. This is freaking me out. Getting closer. Just gotta get the headers on there. Them can be a real fun deal too sometimes, but won't be long. The hardest part of this whole job is putting this, oh, that just dropped in the oil. Putting that Adele clamp on there, it is a real bear. I hate this. Just getting my hands in there. This is the only thing, if I could change, I would. This Harbor Freight bucket's not only good for catching oil, but catching my wrench. Nasty. Yeah. Got my car running again, almost ready for the show, and Jess made me a skinny margarita and some turkey tacos with the leftover turkey. My favorite. So this weekend is Jess's birthday, and we're going to an off-road show. And every year I always get her an arrangement of some sort, and because it always falls on Christmas and she loves Christmas so much, it's usually kind of a Christmas arrangement. That way she can use it the whole month. And she been wanting a wreath, and I got her some Christmas junk anyway. I went to the Hallmark store. Luckily our good friends at Hallmark love us, and they throw some pretty cool stuff together. Now I'm gonna deliver it to her. Yeah, I got her some kind of little snow globe thing that lights up. I figured she would like that. And then this beautiful arrangement. What do you think? I might just get something out of this, LOL. I'm the delivery guy too. Do you like them?
Yes, I love them. It says Merry Birthday to you. That's pretty perfect.
You have a birthday in December,
Yes.
so that's what it is.
Aw, lucky you with twice the reason to have a very merry season.
This is Tracy. Oh, pretty.
Aw,
beautiful.
does it
Good,
have a
how are you?
Shake it up. Oh yeah.
nice. Oh, it's beautiful.
Since you're a
Isn't that
Christmas
pretty?
Christmas lover.
I am a Christmas lover. But God, those flowers are so pretty.
I love that.
See it?
That's amazing. I love snow globes.
Yeah, so pretty. And it's hard to see because it's bright in here, but there's a light on right now.
Yeah.
And now you don't have to go buy it because I already got it for you. All right, let's see it.
Oh, it's doing air bubbles.
From the Hallmark store.
Well, she loved it. I can't wait till her birthday because it's always like my birthday when it's her birthday. I always tell her, on your birthday, you gotta wear your birthday suit, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And this is the wreath that I had made for her. Thank you, Janelle. It's beautiful.
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going, man? Doing well, man. I got a pretty nice box for you. Looks like someone's been a good boy this year.
Oh yeah? I can't wait to see it.
Let's go check it out.
I don't know what it is, but let's check it out.
Sounds good.
Hopefully it's what I ordered. Happy New Year. Love you, Secret Santa XO. Wishing you a delightful Christmas. It sounds like something I could use.
Hey, I'm gonna go grab Monster. Is that cool?
You help yourself. I told you all the time. Thanks for the gift.
Absolutely, man. Alright, man. Well, you'll have to let me know what's inside that box.
I will.
He's killing me right now.
You'll be the first to know. I'll send you a picture.
Alright, man. I appreciate it.
Right on.
I'll see you later.
I'll see you next week. She's been a ton of work, but she's ready to go. Gonna head down to that show in Scottsdale this weekend, and as soon as we get back, we're gonna finish looking things over and get some time to go test this thing and make sure we're solid for the hammers. And the UPS guy dropped this nice Christmas gift off. I can't wait to see what's in there. I think it's time to find out. I had no idea I was that good of a boy this year.
Looks like Christmas came early. I hope you won't.
I love it. They say if you believe, your Christmas wish will come true.
Santa said you were on the naughty list, but I'm gonna give you a Christmas present anyway.
No, he said I was gonna be naughty. I'm pretty sure he said I was gonna be naughty.
Merry Christmas. I couldn't find him for a minute, but I could hear him.
Check out that hot date. Right in front of Chandler School. Check out the moon. Oh yeah. We're gonna have a good night. We got the car dropped off at the show today. We're downtown Chandler.
He's trying to run me through the sprinklers.
Oh yeah, no one cares except for me. I got me have me a wet girl. Might be a wet t-shirt contest. Tomorrow night here in Chandler, they're gonna have the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. It's a big, I don't know how tall, but super tall tumbleweed tree. And then there's gonna be a light parade, so we'll see that tomorrow too. Lots of cool stuff. Four-legged deer, two-legged deer.
That's what I want for my yard next.
Oh boy, I can't wait till Christmas is over. We're gonna be broke.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Blow that out.
Oh, she's good at blowing.
That'd be the same thing as blowing that out.
Yeah, I'm blowing him out.
Okay.
Good luck, sweetheart.
I don't know. Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jess. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, look, she blew it. She blew the shit out of that. Say congratulations, PETA. Cheers, girls.
Merry Christmas. Merry birthday to me.
Merry birthday.
And it's just a merry day. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jess. Happy birthday to you.
Love you. Love you.
Well, I got back from the expo this weekend and noticed that I had a little bit of a drip, which I must have screwed up and not got it sealed good. So I'm gonna take this apart this morning and hope that I get it fixed. And as soon as I get that done, I'm gonna have to make me a little tray on the side of this box so I have somewhere to put my coffee, damn it. Every time I go to set it down, I'm like, man, I wish I had a tray there. So that'll be my next little project once I get this thing draining. Man, the worst thing ever is having to do stuff 2 times in a row, you know? I absolutely hate. And the worst is playing with this gear oil. It's not no easy job to drop this third member out of here. Kind of looks like it's up here in the middle leaking, which is very rare. Maybe I just didn't get good silicone in there. It's not that hard of a job, it's just messy, you know. Nobody's perfect. Damn sure not me. Well, that's draining. I'm gonna make me a little tray for this real quick. I'm gonna make it lip over this like a 1/2 inch or whatever that is. And then I'll come down here and I'll thread a bolt in and use that for the hanger. And hopefully it works out good. I got my tray laid out and I'm gonna break a 1/2 inch lip on it. My plans kind of changed a little bit. Just wasn't enough room to slide in between the toolbox and stuff. So I'm gonna do it a little bit different. Break a tray and then I'll build some side pieces for it and weld them onto it. I had to pull these 2 fingers out so I can finish box breaking it. You can see what that does, just allows you to fit that in there and break all 4 sides. Makes a nice little tray. There's my little fingers that come out of the break. Now I just gotta make a couple of side pieces. I got the side pieces done and I did a little layout. I'm gonna take this, I got 1 inch tube with a center punch, and then I'll be able to fit this in the iron worker and punch the corners. Then I have a little window, give it a little style. I can't just make it half-ass, you know. Gotta look somewhat nice. Put this right around, right there, line it up. Center punch. Center punch. Now we can put it in the iron worker. Too nice. Now I'll just cut that out. Should look good. Trying to cut my vise in half. It's always better if you can cut straighter than I do. Less work. What do you think? Let me know. Slides on pretty nice. And then I put jam nuts on the back so it's not rattling and stuff. Not bad for an hour's worth of work for my coffee table. You can see why I hate doing this. Just a lot of crap everywhere. It's not too bad of a job, but I'm not into the oil and crap. Hopefully this time I'll get it sealed right. Looked like it just didn't stick to the housing. Maybe I had some crap on there or something. But I got it all clean now. Things are coming together very nicely. I got some stuff to add to my car. I got a new co-driver this year, Chris Rhea. And I've heard a lot of things good about these, and I've heard a lot of things that are bad. Kind of thinking they don't update fast enough. So I'm gonna add this in there right above it. I'm just gonna mount it just like that bracket is, make it a bolt-in deal. And there's gonna be both of them, and we're gonna test them both, and whichever one works, we'll use. Whichever one don't, we're gonna throw it out. And then this year on my side, I got the little Garmin, just in case my co-driver falls asleep or something, I can kind of see where I'm going. I'm used to driving by myself, and I always like to have a line to follow. That way I ain't gotta ask him. He might be busy thinking about something or whatever, but that's what we're doing next. Gonna make a bracket for this. Damn it, my 1970 skin suit's wearing out. Not as tough as it used to be. So this is 3/16. I'm gonna break this. I'll kind of lay a pattern out on it and get me a bracket out of that. Here's what we come up with minus the blood. Simple little bracket, some 3/16. I just threaded that 1/4 inch, and I threaded the dash, and then I put nuts on the back side. Now I'll just put that bracket up there, and then you can remove this GPS out of the way if it doesn't work worth a crap. Can't go wrong with 2 of these, right? They do different things. There's my bracket. If you want to take it off, you can throw it out, unplug it. And then I got this little Garmin on this side for me, so I could follow the yellow brick road. Nice little trick. I just take 2 pairs of needle nose and form this to fit around my brake hoses. I'll Velcro them in between, but I'll put 3 of these just so it's positive, and it actually holds real nice. It's been on there for a year, and I've done this before. So if you guys ever need a clamp, I've seen people do some pretty crazy stuff. I've made some crazy stuff, but this is actually the simplest, cheapest, quickest deal. You can see it works pretty nice.
I hope you guys had fun watching some of my birthday celebrations. I had a really good time, and watching Shannon do whatever he did to the motor for the 100th time. I don't know. Rebuilding, I'm not sure what the right word is.
Yeah, we did quite a few odds and ends, just killing time before we go, but we're getting ready to head out to go to the Hammers and do some testing over there. So the next video will be us testing, and got Chris Ray that's going to be riding with me, and we're just going to be checking everything out and make sure we're solid for the Hammers, and then come back and finish getting ready.
Yep. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, like, leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.